Oval, and I bid a welcome to Richard Correll, who has been looking after things. Welcome, Richard.
Thanks very much, Bernie, and the weather looks like it might have shaped up a bit better than it looked first thing this morning, and we should be able to see the full array of skills on display today.
No doubt about that. We've had strong winds in the debut games, in which we saw a Pascoeville Juniors Premiership, a Wallaroo Seniors, and now a very popular Ardrossan B-grade victory. Winds ease back a bit, Richard, but certainly the town end or the non-club room end is the way to go today, I think, Richard.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there, Bernie. And with a bit of luck, the wind might drop out altogether a bit later on. But yes, that town end, I think, or the east end, should be the main end to score at. And just on the previous games, it's interesting to see the Pascoeville Juniors scoring a win, the first one for some 18 years, I believe.
Yeah, a really popular win, and I guess the Butte boys have gone home. Two teams, the only club this year to have more than one team in the finals, and as a result of that, got a very big crowd here today at Wallaroo Oval. The last time these two teams met was 1982 in a final, and that was the grand final down at Wallaroo, and the coaches, I understand, were Pat White for Maitland and Ian Westbrook. This year we've got Jack White and Ian Westbrook.
Yeah, same surnames, but really the 2 years haven't got that much in common player-wise, so we really can't compare the two years, but I'm hoping the same result will occur.
I guess our money's on the Tigers. The Maitland team, for those, so we've got some idea of where people are, with the Peter Brint at full forward, and Broken Shear roving with James and Bilney, the three-way rover set up. Cross half forward, we've got Michael Vogt and Timmy Poole on the half forward flank, Kim McCauley at centre half forward, and the old man Jack White on the other flank. One of the Thomas boys, Mark Kirby, the brilliant centreman, in the middle today again, and we believe young Bittner's on the other wing. John Darling, the hard John Darling, fair John Darling, and John Agnew, probably the best centre half back in the association, and Nicholas Liner, probably the hardest backman in the association. We've got Bill Greenslade, Robbie Arthur, and at this stage we're not sure who's in the other pocket. We'll let you know as soon as they come onto the ground. Pretty good team, Richard.
Yeah, I like their centre line set up. They've got some really good running players, and if Arthurton allow them to get out into the open and use the spaces, they're going to be in big trouble. So I wouldn't be surprised to see David Langford man up on Mark Kirby, and that could be a match-winning move if it comes off.
Can you just run through the Arthurton team just to give us a fix, and we'll look at some of those duels after you've done that.
Okay, Bernie. Starting from the forward lines, we've got Peter Hill and David Inman charging in the forward pocket. Young Darren Sweeper Schilling playing at full forward. Glenn Hillebrand and Joe McCauley changing as rovers in the other forward pocket. Alan Goods, half forward, Andrew Thompson and Neville Rowe comes into the side for the injured Walt Bagshaw. On the wings, Craig Graham, Ian Westbrook, the skipper's put himself to the centre of the ground, and young David Eggleton, or I shouldn't say young, but Eggy on the other wing. Speaking of young, Stephen Thompson on the half-back flank. Mile medalist Robbie Langford at centre half-back with Brett Graham flanking him. Laurie Colliver gets a spot in the back pocket, and he deserves it so. Mark Coleman at full-back, and the ruck rovers David Langford and Gavin Adams. Filling up the interchange positions, we've got Peter Bagshaw and young Stephen Olive.
Yeah, 9 of those players were in the 82 final that was victorious on this oval, Richard, and those lads have been in a losing grand final, a drawn grand final, and a winning grand final. So their finals experience has to rest with the Arthurton Tigers. We'll see that the Maitland Lions have made their way onto the oval, and at this stage I can't see too many surprises out there.
No, I think it'll go pretty well as named. Positions might be a little bit different, but yeah, I think the Tigers would have the experience as far as finalists go. There's a lot of the older players in that Arthurton side have played a number of finals between them, and this could hold them in good stead, I think. As you said, the Maitland side out there, they look remarkably fresh there, Bernie, already, and those couple of weeks break they've had could be another telling factor.
Here they are, the Arthurton Tigers now make their way onto the oval. Up goes the banner. Put a lot of work put in by the Arthurton cheer squad, as we see the lads about to break through the banners which says Tigers are great, 88. And here's where they come. They come through the group. Westbrook's very much a man of team play and pulling together, and that's indicative then. And the boys are pretty hyped up there, Richard.
Yes, indeed they are. And no doubt Ian Westbrook would have had them punching the walls down before they came out. And just from the reception they got, Bernie, I think the rest of the league might be on their side.
Yeah, I guess it's Arthurton population 97 serving the backbone of Yorke Peninsula, the farming community, and to have 4 teams in the finals, 3 to the preliminary, 1 to the grand, 4 netball teams I understand to the finals, the hockey team, 2 basketball teams. What a wonderful, wonderful record they have, this small community, and I really think that they've got the real support of the people here today.
Yes, I certainly hope so, and yeah, that is a fantastic achievement with all the sporting achievements they've had over the last 12 months. It's been great for the community. Just talking of a couple of the interesting duels we'll have today, Bernie, that centre line is going to be most important. The wings especially, I think, with Craig Graham and David Eglinton for Arthurton playing Michael Thomas and Gavin Bittner for the Lions.
Yeah, sure. I can see some pretty absorbing duels there, and I think that those kids get on top Arthurton are going to be in strife. David Eglinton's one that never gives in, and Craig Graham's over aerial ability is unquestioned. So it's going to be a pretty good sort of setup. I'd like the duel between Cameron McCauley on Robert Langford. Early in the week I was informed that McCauley was a little nervous. He wasn't really that confident about handling Big Rob, and I guess the other one too that I think is going to be interesting, twice this year Stephen Thompson's been bathed by Jack White, but Stephen's finals performance has been outstanding, and I can see that being a real point of thrust for the Arthurton Tigers off that half-back flank.
Yes, most important that back line, because that's where the attacks start from, and Stephen Thompson played possibly the best game I've seen him play this season last Saturday against Kadina, and that was one of the main reasons that they were too good for Kadina, and he'll certainly have too much pace for Jack White. He's just going to have to be a little bit careful. Jack White experience would overshadow Stevens, I'm sure, but if Stephen can play the same as he did last Saturday, I think he could get on top of Jack White.
Toss has been had, and I believe it's a Maitland victory, and we see Thomas out there carrying on a pork chop as he usually does. Oh goodness, chip off the old block, one would say. And the Arthurton players in a huddle as the Maitland team moves to position. See the other, I think it's going back into the back pocket would be Paul Kirby. It looks like Richard, that one position we didn't have tidied up was Paul Kirby.
Yes, I think Paul Kirby may line up out there, and with young Bill Greenslade in the other one, there's a couple of, well, inexperienced players, I suppose you'd call it. There were quite a number of players in that Maitland side out of last year's B-grade premiership team, and I don't know, I just think man for man that Arthurton are a better side, but Maitland certainly play well as a team.
I guess the boys have come along the hard way. They dropped that first final, the double chance. They used it up early, got home on a prayer and a hope in the first semi-final, and then with some really pressure-type footy in that second, in that preliminary final, when we saw the tragedy of Graham Bagshaw, one of Arthurton's most skilled players, being taken out of the game with what can be described as a uneducated attack on his head. So here though, I think Glenn Hillebrand's going to have an influence as he always will, because he will be able to apply consistent pressure. David Inman, big fellow from the city. Noticed a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow there today in the club room before the game. There's a quite cool there, Richard. All the movements now. Umpire's John Leroy, and I haven't picked up the other one yet, but it's the umpire, both umpires from last week. Leroy now with the ball as the siren sounds, and the ball's bounced down. We've got an encounter between Hastings and Hill. Hastings up, and just a tap down to Kirby. Kirby over to McCauley. McCauley over towards Voigt. Voigt with an opportunity. Oh, drops what he should have taken. On the ground goes Hill. Hill's all over the top of him, and then the other umpire will call for a ball up in the true centre half forward position, with Maitland kicking to the scoring end, the golf course end here at the Wallaroo Oval.
Bounced there by the umpire, a bit of a poor one. Comes to Peter Hill. Glenn Hillebrand's in there, but Maitland get the quick kick away. Comes to David Langford. Hands out a nice handball to David Eglinton. He kicks forward, but the Maitland man and John Darling takes the ball. Quickly plays on. Swings on that right foot. Swings forward, but Lawrence Colliver, the young Laurie Colliver, takes a mark at half back. Chips away short, and he finds Glenn Hillebrand, who's been in good form in recent weeks, and up to his old antics again. Glenn looking for the 15-yarder. Couldn't get it, but he'll get one before the day's out. Tips over to find Neville Rowe, who can't quite take the mark, and the ball's run out of bounds.
Out of bounds, over the line in front of the Arthurton's Brains Trust here at the Wallaroo Oval as we approach the end of the first minute here in the first quarter. Ball's on the ground. Kirby in, without it. Now Hillebrand again, second touch in seconds. Up towards Thompson. Thompson uses up body magnificently against Agnew. Gets a lot of attention from Darling, and umpire Leray says it's a game of football, son, not push and shove. And Thompson goes to the wobbly looking kick, but it finds its mark, and Schilling on a fast lead. Oh, he earned that one, and he got it. He got it a beauty. That's good for the confidence, Richard. That's good for the confidence.
Yeah, certainly. It didn't look like a pretty kick. It's come off Andrew Thompson's boot, but it certainly was spot on with the accuracy. And Darren Schilling took that on the chest, a yard clear of his opponent. And on that left foot, we'll just see what Darren can do. Brings it in. Big fly on the square by him, and he couldn't quite take it. Craig Graham there. He tries to get it out. Bit of a scrimmage over the ball now, and the umpire says, "I'll have it, fellas."
Yeah, that's a good confidence booster for Darren Schilling there. Those sort of first up grabs are going to do in the world of good, confidence-wise. Now we've got a ruck encounter right in the teeth of the Arthurton goals. Down it goes. Inman and Hastings. Inman the tap. Straight to Thomas. Thomas kicks smothered. This gives a run at the ball for the other Thomas boy, but Hillebrand's far too good. He flings on his left boot, away from Voigt, kicks into the pocket again, and Schilling makes front position, gets pulled out of the road. But in doing so, Neville Rowe is infringed, and he'll have a shot. And he'd be 20, 25, 30 metres out on about a 45-degree angle, basically kicking across this breeze.
Yeah, pretty tough to get a goal from there, although there's a bit of protection from the wind there, but he'd really have to swing that ball into that breeze, and from that distance, he might be just a little bit far out. We'll have a look. Neville Rowe, nice-looking kick. He's tried to pull it a little bit too much, and he's done just that, and I think it's gone out of bounds on the full.
The ball will be brought in by Gary Bilney. He goes long towards top. Goes Hillebrand over the back. Rowe drops what he should have had. Now it's a chance for Michael Voigt, the banker. He's bundled out of the line, over the line, out of bounds, along with the ball, and we'll have a ball in this time in front of the Maitland Brains Trust. No, the Arthurton Brains Trust at least. And a bit of a cheer squad too. Hill, Hastings. Hastings a tap. Ball on the ground. Over the top goes Rowe. Back on it now. Does it well. Lays off to nobody. Ball's on the ground again. Taps it forward. And unfortunately for Big Hastings, he puts his feet in the wrong place, and it's over the line out of bounds, and a free kick to nice enough to ball in. Hill versus Hastings. Hastings a tap again. Bilney on the ground, good roving. Gives the space a chance for Macaulay, and well done. Brett Graham lays off and is pinched for holding the ball.
Yes. The umpire's possibly trying to get control of the game early, and they've awarded a couple of 15-yarders already, but Maitland play it on now. As they go forward, they've found Mark Kirby. Run up in the mark middle, he's swinging on that left foot. He looks pretty dangerous from there, and I think he's put it through. Great goal, Bernie Lange.
Top piece of footy in. Westbrook's back in the centre. If Ian's going to and I really think that he's not going to be able to keep up with the Kirby, and he's going to have to do something about instructing someone on there. Maybe David Langford is the bloke. Maybe he's got the contract already, and we don't really know. We'll pick that up as we go along. But it was a good bit of footy then. Nick Honor conned the umpire to 15 metres. The ball was laid off very quickly to Timmy Paul. Paul over the top to Kirby, who streamed through the half-forward line, and he made no mistake.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of pressure put on him then. He seemed to be in the open, and he had 7 or 8 steps before he shot for goal, so he steadied very well. But nevertheless, the ball's back in the centre. Down goes the bounce. Peter Hill, Westbrook's there, gets the tap. Big Robbie Langford goes the big punch. Neville Rowe's there. Sockers it off the ground. Agnew's there for Maitland. He's claimed by Alan Goods, who's got to come into the game. Alan Goods in there with a strong tackle again, and the scrimmage occurs between wing and half forward.
Wing and half forward right for Arthurton. We've got a fairly tense situation out there on the hallowed turf of Wallaroo Oval. And the wind's just reasonably strong, plenty of sun. Hastings a tap, and he's building the taps at this stage. Straight to Darling. Darling kicks to nobody except Westbrook. And Westbrook has got to... that's a 15-metre penalty in my book, but there you go.
Yes, I don't think he came back quite far enough, but anyway, nevertheless, he's going to kick it forward, and that's not a good kick. as it's interfered with by Mark Kirby, and he's a good player. Lurch nearly claims him, but he can't quite get him, and Gavin Adams has given Darryl Brokenshire a bit of room across that half-forward line, and he'd be about 45 metres out. Too far to score. He goes long, however.
I tell you what, he's given it a hell of a chance.
Lawrence Colliver's back
Barry
there.
Colliver for hand on ball.
Taps it back. Out of bounds now, and good play by Lawrence Colliver. He, first couple of minutes, he's played pretty well.
Bit of maturity shown with the young fella then. He just happy to get hand on ball and tap it over. Walked out of bounds. Ball on the ground, out of bounds again, the same spot. At this stage, Kirby's a danger man. They've got to watch him pretty closely. He's now right down in the teeth of goal somewhere, I believe. As he dropped back, and got David Langford's picked him up as a head-high tackle on Alan Goods there, I think it was, and
Peter Hill, I think.
Peter Hill, and he'll have the free kick deep in the Maitland full forward line. Hill goes long. Westbrook fisted down. Chance for Bilney. Bilney goes short towards Vogt. Vogt now drops what he should have had, but then inside is Langford, Robert Langford. In goes Joe McClure, a lot of endeavour. Body over the ball, and umpire Leroy will call a ball up. He could have easily given Macaulay a free then, as that Thomas boy came in and drove his knees into his back. Over to you, Richard.
Yes, down goes the ball. Up goes Hill versus Hastings. Nullified tap then. Joe McCauley coming through quickly. Jack White's there. He gets claimed by Craig Grant. Too slow to get the ball away. Players over the ball now. David Langford gets the quick handball out. Andrew Thompson taps it out cleverly to Ian Westbrook, who's trying hard. Over the ball now, and another scrimmage occurs. And Nick Honour's in there as well for the Lions, and the umpire's going to bounce it again. Pretty
absorbing footy here. Nick Honour doesn't want to let Ian Westbrook go, and vice versa. John Leroy says, I wouldn't mind having the footy, and he's got it. And he'll bounce it right in front of our commentary position. Down the ball goes, terrible bounce. Hastings taps it straight down Bilney's throat. Hill takes it off hand, smothered well, ball on the turf. In goes Hill again, out wide to Hillebrand to Graham, and then Hillebrand. Then he goes long, a searching kick looking for Goods. Goods over the top, and he's got it. Oh, what a top mark.
Fine mark, Alan Goods. Nice little handball by Craig Graham, found Glenn Hillebrand, who centred that ball, and that's where the ball's got to go. It's no use going out to this side forward pocket, the scoreboard pocket. He'll get trapped in there, and Alan Goods, who's a powerful kicker of the ball, and I'd say that's within his range. He's now kicking across the wing because the wind has swung from right around the way, and I tell you what, it's a beautiful kick, Richard Correll. Lovely kick by Alan Goods, and like I said, he's a beautiful kicker of the ball. He seems to possess the perfect timing that's needed for those powerful kicks into the breeze, and that was into the teeth of the breeze. Arthurton score a valuable goal, 1 goal apiece. I just wonder whether our cameraman Stavros Davey can swing the camera around to those flags. Just give us some idea what the wind is doing, and I'd suggest now that's almost straight across the ground. Yes, there's probably not much advantage there at all, Bernie, but perhaps still just marginally this side. Down to the eastern end, you mean? That's what I meant to say. Down goes the ball. This side is, they can't see where we are. Peter Hill goes to tap. Through comes Andrew Thompson. High tackle on Nick Honour's not noticed. Glenn Hillebrand's got it now. Uses his skill to get out of it. Goes the ground pass to Neville Rowe, who can't gain the ball. Young Dick Jones is in there for Maitland, trying hard. He gets claims, gets the handball over to Nick Honour though, but Paul Kirby chips in. He goes on the left foot, and it's not a good kick, and it's going to bounce just inside the line of brother Paul to Mark. He plays onto that left foot now with skill. Goes forward, Gavin Adams going back there, can't wrap it in. Stephen Thompson, the star from last week. Robbie Langford gets it, gives it over to Ian Westbrook, who's going to be claimed if he's not careful. Tips it out short, and he finds David Langford, who interfered with Glenn Hillebrand. A nice head-eye tackle there. The umpire's going to play that down the field, and that Thomas has got, I have to say, he's got nothing above the shoulders. Absolutely nothing. He lined the player up from 50 yards away then. Yes, he did. It is a grand final, though. He'd be going out to put anybody out he could, and that's going to be the price that people are going to have to pay. Ball to centre half forward area, and the umpire says he'll have a bounce. Glenn Hillebrand is at this stage, in my opinion, Arthurton's best player. He's giving us a lot of drive. Kirby best for Maitland. Yes, I'd have to agree with that. True centre half forward position as we approach the 10-minute mark in the first quarter. Ball on the ground. Inman into the back of Hastings, and he'll have a free kick over the shoulders, the way Leroy called it. I'm better judge than him anyway. Fair enough. David Hastings swings out to this northern side of the ground. Gavin Adams there, the ever-reliable Gavin Adams, takes the safe mark on centre wing. Swings on that left foot, and he's got Neville Rowe, who doesn't seem to be showing any signs of a sore shoulder at this stage. Bit of a tongue twister there. He goes short again, and he's found Joe McCauley, who's been let loose by Thomas, who's handing out a little bit of attention there again. Intelligence of a pea, that man. Goes short to Glenn Hillebrand, and they've they've trapped themselves in that pocket again. I think Glenn will go to centre it. Goes short, chips it across, and who's he found? No one. Peter Brin's back there, and could he possibly be playing on the ball, Bernie?
I don't know. Pat White's at full forward. Look at it. Robert Langford dropped back in the ball, drops it, what he should have taken. Ball's down the ground, chance for Bilney, who's a good footballer. He's on his left boot, kicks to the space. This is a chance for Brokenshire, who's got 2 yards on Coleman. Coleman's equal to the task and dispossesses him. In goes Larry Colliver, body over the ball. That's a good bit of a good bit of defence by the Arthurton Tigers. Then we see a little bit of a scuffle over there on what we would call the grandstand wing, I guess, here at the Wallaroo Oval.
No grandstand there, Bernard. We'll call it that anyway. Tempers probably will get a little bit flared before the day's out as the ball's bounced over on that half-forward line. Maitland come out with the ball. Lovely smother off the boot. Bit of a scrimmage again. Mark Coleman gets the ball out. It's close to the line, and the umpire says, we'll have it, thanks very much. Very difficult to see right over there, Bernie. Right
in front of a very vocal Maitland crowd calling, holding the ball. And then he's pelted free out, and it's going to go to the weight of Larry Colliver, who's playing very mature football indeed. He kicks wide, but that's a terrible kick. I washed my mouth out with soap. Maitland plays on the middle, kicks it up forward, pushes to the ground to Coleman. Coleman goes in towards centre, towards Craig Graham and Thomas. Thomas one hand, but not two. Graham first to recover. Oh, in goes Voigt, then going the head, and that's a fair free because he was up body over the ball, and that was his intention, Craig Graham.
Neville Rowe showing experience, leading towards that clubroom side. That's the side they've got to score from. The ball comes out the back of the pack now. It's John Darling, quick kick onto that left foot. Craig Graham's there, lost his footing at the vital time. Laurie Colliver stood there and looked at it. Through comes big Robbie Langford. He gets a handball over to brother David that sets him up, and a nice tackle by David Langford on Thomas. Peter Hill gets it. He's got nowhere to go. Gets caught. Kirby's in there again. He's done well. Handballs it off. Nice little throw, but the umpire was blind side of it. Gavin Adams is out there. He knows he's got plenty of time, and he'll dummy around him nicely. It was nicely caught, however. Jack White's got it. Gavin Adams again. He's claimed by Timmy Paul. Stephen Thompson now. Swings onto that right foot, and he's going to find David Langford.
Another bit of maturity shown then by one of the young kids of Arthurton, one of the lads that is playing in their first final. It's young Steve Thompson. He goes up towards Craig Grant. He drops what he nearly had in the back of Andrew Thompson, who really fought hard for that ball then. And Thomas.
Oh, can't work that one out, Bernie.
I can't work that out at all. Free kick to Honor. Honor goes short towards Macaulay. And Macaulay marks it. It was a very well-positioned kick. Cameron Macaulay goes towards the full forward line, centre half forward line. In goes Mark Coleman. Bilney roves it well. Lays off over the top towards Brokenshire. The dangerous Brokenshire on his left boot goes towards goal. Gavin Adams.
Yes, I could see Gavin creeping back there. I think he read that well, and he's got the ball. Chips it out to Brett Graham in that back pocket. And he'll relieve for the Tigers as he swings out of that half-back flank, looking for brother Craig, who should mark. Slight push in the back, gets pushed under the ball. Doesn't matter. Glenn Hillebrand showing a turn of pace in front of Dick James, but he's good enough to get it off Glenn Hillebrand. Kicks forward. Mark Kirby's there. David Langford with a nice punch over the top.
Spoil. I'd say that Gavin Adams has played the odd game of footy before. Ball's thrown in, but it's gives us a chance to get ourselves sorted out. It's out of bounds again. I guess I'll hand over to Richard Correll to pick up the commentary.
Thanks, Bernie. We'll get it worked out. Ball's thrown in. Nice throw in by the umpire. Peter Hill in there trying hard as usual. Gets a tap on Jack White, the quick kick. Mark Coleman's going to be first there to lead the race the ball. Bilney gets there as well. Lawrence Colliver in there battling, trying hard. Gavin Adams there standing back and watching, but there'll be a ball up again.
Larry Colliver's playing really hard, tough backline footy under pressure. He's believing in possession, and he is making sure there's not an easy ball drifting out the side of a pack.
Ball goes down. Up goes Big Peter Hill again. He taps it out. Jack White's got it. Hooks onto that left foot. Oh, nearly a mark to Maitland, but it's tapped off the top of the pack, and it's run through for a behind. And Maitland there go to 1-1, leading the Tigers 1 goal. But I still think the wind is favouring that in just a bit.
As we approach the 15-minute mark, it's the veteran Mark Coleman with the headgear in towards Craig Graham. In goes Steve Thompson. He sidesteps and gets tripped, but on the ground the ball is. In goes Peter Hill doing a lot of bulky work. Jack White again. He's doing a lot more than what we're thinking. In goes the ball to the vacant square, and Larry Colliver, I'd have to say, is on the Rovers, so he's on Bilney. He's picked his resting rover up. We can't say it's his fault, so I guess Dick James is on the ball, so it's Gavin Adams' man.
Yes, perhaps it was. He possibly got caught up with the play, and Daryl Broken, she doesn't miss too many of them, and he hasn't missed that one. Tigers trial, 1 goal to 2 goal 1. And Gavin Adams probably caught up with the play over in this pocket, Bernie, and let his man go loose, and they've paid the penalty.
Yeah, lay down Mazier goal for Broken Shah there. Jack White has the presence of mind to kick to that open space, and of course Broken Shah had the experience to know where to go. Ball back in the centre again, and we've got Peter Hill in ruck in opposition to Hastings, I think it is, yes. Ball's down. Hastings has got the favourable bounce, but Hill over the top thumps it. Country mile. Ball's on the ground now, and goes out. He's pushed in the back by Thomas, but the umpire's going to give it as a ball up, only 15 metres further into the Arthurton forward line. Hastings versus Hill. Westbrook's in there, as to his building. Ball down. Hastings attacked, straight to Bilney. Bilney gets smothered. Ball's on the ground. Chance for Craig Graham Nicholas on it. Well done, Rowe. Rowe off the turf. Lays off towards Adams. Adams over towards Macaulay. Macaulay gets thumps across towards Craig Graham. Kicks to the space, giving Goods a chance. He's unloaded. Now it's with Hillebrand. He's pushing the back, and the umpire calls pay on. A little bit unreasonable. Pushed also is Alan Goods. Ball on the ground. Good defence by Maitland here. Schilling's dispossessed. As to his Maitland player, and after about the fourth untidy bit of footy, the umpire picked out a free to Maitland on this occasion, and we'll go to Bittner. Bittner goes long, but and Nick Hastings finds the ball. He goes equally long. Up goes Colliver and Graham. A bit of lack of talk there. Off goes David Langford, and after it again recovers it well. Kicks to Coleman. Coleman gets thumped as he kicks the ball. Gives a chance for Westbrook. Westbrook goes through over the top towards Macaulay. Macaulay goes without the ball, so does Thomas. Macaulay has a bit of endeavour there, and he's pinched for holding the ball. And gee whiz, that's a bit unfair. I cannot accept a player who's going to dive on the ball getting pinched. James is by himself. Larry Colliver's at full. He's got to be tight. James is too far out to score. Away goes Brokenshire. That's where the ball heads. That's a beautiful pass. Brokenshire drops what he should have taken. Brett Graham's on his hammer. Brokenshire is dispossessed. Well done by Evelyn. Over to Colliver. Colliver into the no man's land. Gives Bilney a chance. Bilney's wrong-footed by the umpire. Gets the ball, however. Goes in towards Kirby. Kirby, one hand, two grabs on the ground. Lays after White. White's pinched for holding the ball. A good tackle there.
Yeah, it had to be going there if they're going to be consistent. And a fine tackle will see the Tigers relieved by Stephen Thompson, I think. He'll kick from that full-back position. Goes out to the clubroom side now towards half-back, looking for Andrew Thompson, the only man out there for Arthurton. Trying hard, gets the ball now, goes to the big hammer to Laurie Colliver, play well, put him under pressure, got a trip, however, and he'll get the free kick at half-back. Laurie Colliver, very impressive today, Bernie. He's played very well. Early days, I know, but Laurie goes off the half-back flank to centre wing. Everyone misjudges the flight of the ball as it goes over the back of the pack. Finds Michael Thomas, who's loose in the centre again. He's been a bit damaging. Puts it up forward. Ball bounces loose again. Big Brindy goes the big tap. Pretty clever play. The handball was on if Kirby could have only picked it up. He couldn't. And the umpire says, I'll have it.
You know, I would have called that holding the ball. If Jay Macaulay was pinched for holding the ball in the centre here, Richard, I really have got to say that it was no different there. Kirby did the right thing and dived from the ball to block it in. Jay did that and was pinched.
Very similar, very similar. Ball to be bounced down just outside the Maitland goal square. Tap down. Big Robbie Langford is the tap, and the umpire decided he'll take the ball back. The bouncing hasn't been very good today at all, Bernie. Very, very substandard.
Mate, there's been three of them in the middle there. I've got to say that we're exactly the same as that went to Hastings, and he didn't call them back at this stage. I'd say that we're not getting that good a run, but plenty of game left. Approach the 20-minute mark now. 19 minutes into the first quarter of the 1988 grand final. Ball's on the ground. There's Bilney with a chance. Bilney tosses it wide towards Kirby, but David Langford chances his arm and clears it out with a long penetrating kick. Low. Andrew Thompson, the ball sits, is in business. It won't sit, but he keeps going. Well done by Hill. He takes out the player, but young Schilling doesn't. Shows a lack of maturity. Gives Paul the opportunity now, and Paul will settle for kick to Bilney. Bilney in the centre of the ground goes wide towards another Maitland player in the form of Brokenshire. I think it is now. It's Bittner. Bittner goes in very long and offline, 1 point only.
Very promising attack there by the Maitland Lions, I should say, and they set up the loose man well. Arthurton a bit slow to get back on their man.
on that occasion, we had Andrew Thompson with the run of the ball, and Darren Schilling just didn't take the man out. He went for the little bit of lack of talking there.
Yeah, he should have taken the man out, but nevertheless, we're here at the ball, the Maitland's half-forward line, and...
That's Whitelaw.
Yeah, Ricky Whitelaw on the ground, and young fella getting a run. Nobody stands the mark. A shocking kick. Goes forward. Through comes big David Inman, who's been quiet so far. Kicks it high to Neville Rowe, who gets front position. Nick Honor gets it. He gets pulled off the ball. Good tackle. Ricky Whitelaw holds the ball in there. Glenn Hillebrand and Craig Graham applying plenty of pressure. And right in front of our commentary position here, the ball will be bounced.
And we've got in ruck Neville Rowe. Whitelaw the tap straight to Bilney. Bilney is... Now it's Westbrook. He clears it up forward towards Goods. Goods does it well too against Darling. And he's got a ton of pace. Darling won't catch him. Away he goes. In with a long penetrating kick, giving Schilling the opportunity. On the ground the ball is now. Chance for Hastings to clear it out, and he clears it out well. And Maitland with a bit of system there to relieve the pressure towards Poole now, who will build. He will build for Maitland as he goes wide out on the outer side to the wing. And in front of there was Eglin. Eglin does it well, as does Langford, but in doing so they've infringed on Bittner. And Bittner will have a free kick on the outer wing and drive Maitland well into attack with a long drop punt into that forward flank. Adam sets himself. It's an Adam, Gavin Adams' mark, usually from about 10 minutes before the ball gets there. Got a beautiful pair of hands. He goes long back to that wing again. And Neville Rowe sets himself, as too does Bittner. In goes Thomas. Thomas with a kick towards Kirby. And Kirby on this occasion is in front of David Langford, who has tightened up in the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so. Kirby with a long kick now gives Westbrook a chance to run on the ball. Chance for a broken share, and I tell you what, it's... well, gee whiz, Richard, is that unlucky or is that unlucky?
Yes, he swung that back a bit far. You could see Mark Kirby looking from that half-forward line. I could see the goal square was vacant. Put a long kick over the top to give that Maitland player a run at the ball. Exactly what happened, but it just didn't quite come off. But good thinking by Kirby. Brett Graham gets the mark from the Ian Westbrook kick in, and he'll kick to this outer side, and it's a poor kick off the side of the boot. And
a bit of concentration, son.
Yeah, should take a bit more care with the kick, and especially when you're kicking around the boundary and the wind blowing it out, you've really got to think what you're doing. Umpire just telling Gavin Adams where he should be standing. Cameron McCauley's got the ball on the Maitland half-forward line, and I think he'd be looking to centre that. Goes short now, looking for big Peter Brind, but chipping it in front is Mark Kirby, and he's been a damaging player.
Is he playing centre? Because if he's playing centre, it's one of the most unorthodox centre games I've seen played. My understanding of a true centreman is one that patrols from basically across half-forward to the full-back line. And he spent just about his entire lifetime forward of the forward flank in true forward position. Is he roving, perhaps?
Not quite sure what the setup there is. He's in the centre square when the ball's bounced, I believe, but Maitland kicking the opportunities away. Mark Coleman goes short, and he's found David Inman, who, as I said before, has been a bit quiet so far, but there is a long way to go. He gets better as the game goes on. David Inman goes short now. That's a bit dangerous. Ian Westbrook's there. Gets a bit of attention. David Langford gets the ball and gets the benefit of the play on decision. John Darling runs through and he'll burst his way to the back.
It's a terrible kick, that, and that is too. That is equally bad. Now's a chance for Arthurton to build. Oh, Darling gets hurt. Darling gets hurt by Langford. Andrew Thompson gets jumped on, sat on by Agnew. Waste no time. It was a terrible handball and it was inappropriate, but Goods is almost good enough. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Ball's on the ground. Chance for Darling again. Darling is battling very well, and the ball goes into centre half forward for the Lions. Wide towards Eglin. Eglin is absolutely dispossessed before he's got the ball, and a bit of clever footy by David Eglin then.
Yeah, using his experience there, David, as he chips it across short, and he finds big David Inman, I think it is, over on that side, and he'll swing onto that left foot as usual. Kicks it in long, right in front of the club rooms there. Craig Graham, the fly, couldn't quite pull it in. Nearly would have given it to him for effort. Peter Hill try to get it out. Plays in over the ball now. Number 5 for Maitland can't get it out. Glenn Hillebrand's going to be in there getting it. Voigt couldn't get it clear. Player over the ball. Alan Goods claims in. The umpire says it'll be a bounce.
It's well locked in then by the Tigers, and they've got a real opportunity here to convert as we go into the 24-minute mark of this the first quarter. Not much time on, I wouldn't think. And ball's thumped away by Hastings on this occasion. Gives Voigt a chance, but David Langford's good enough. Over to his brother-in-law, Gavin Adams. A wobbly old kick, but might find Hill. Hill thumps it down towards nobody. In goes Egland. They're falling over themselves, and
high tackle to Peter Hill, I think.
It's a high tackle again. Peter Hill's a very, very, very busy player. Got a very good work rate. He goes in long now towards Jay McCauley, and McCauley takes a very good mark, tucked in that forward pocket in front of the. But I would perhaps describe as more appropriately as the grandstand.
Yes, possibly. Oh, loose man there in Hillebrand, and Glenn Hillebrand a long way out there, possibly a bit too far to score. He's indicating he's going to go long. It's been Maitland's quarter so far, I would think, but Glenn drives it in long with a long kick. I tell you what, he's hit the post, and that's bad luck.
The aluminum got a hell of a shake up then. It was a good long kick. There's a bit of shelter across there with those trees, and I think if the ball's kept, not too high, then there's a chance that you get a kick accurately. Now it's a chance for Robert Arthur, erstwhile coach of Maitland. He kicks to position towards Kirby. Kirby, that's a good, intelligent bit of footy there. Now that to me, he's got to take the ball off him. That's a good, intelligent bit of footy because Kirby was off then.
Yes, he would have been if Glenn hadn't grabbed him, and Ian Westbrook comes up to Dick James and he's not giving him a yard either. Little James, he goes short now to half forward, and Gary Billner, that's a fine overhead mark in front of Lawrence Collar. Only gave him half a yard.
A lace-out pass, though.
Yeah, I couldn't do much about that. As Billner goes to the half forward line, the big punch from Langford out the back, gets punched towards the boundary line. Maitland player leads in the race of the ball, handballs it out. Nobody can grab it. A high tackle, says the umpire. I couldn't see it from here.
Coach is free.
Jack White, the old man of the side, goes long to full forward. There's no one out the back. Big Cats there. Oh, the back door's left wide open and running into an open goal. It's Gavin Bittner, I think, and that's poor defence.
That's there's something very basic in footy, and that is that we've got a situation where Brett Graham and David Inman, they both flew and no one stayed down. They lost their balance, and Bittner had a lay down as their goal.
Yes, that's the second one they've got, and that's really breaking all the rules doing that and leaving the back door open. Maitland goes 3-2 to 1-1, and that's going to be a handy break at quarter time for the Lions. I think it's been their quarter, Bernie. They've played with a bit more purpose. Yeah,
I guess a bit more direction. I think that that they have their kicking, their disposal's been excellent. They have had what I would view the scoring end, but certainly at this stage 3-2 to 1-1 gives Arthurton a contract to pull them back in the next quarter. Okay, 27 minutes of play gone, and it's Whitelaw with a terrible bounce. Now, I was going to say, Richard, he pinched the ball the other way around up the other end there, and it's the fourth time it's happened in the square. It's a pretty ordinary exhibition of bouncing. Now Whitelaw's got tapping it straight over the top towards Nick Honor. Nick Honor on the left boot, chips for the control kick. Ball's fisted away by Steve Thompson. Steve Thompson goes wide, giving Rambo Thomas the chance. In goes Jay McCauley and Andrew Thompson, and the ball's out of bounds, and Thomas had the head swiveling around like nothing, looking for someone he could hit.
Yes, the ball did prop for him. The ball's thrown in at Arthurton's half-forward line. The tap goes Maitland's way. Kirby's there again. Good play by Kirby. Swings on the left foot, and Jack White in front of Stephen Thompson. He's had a swag of kicks, Bernie. As the quarter-time siren sounds,
goes as
Maitland leading 3-2 to 1-1. And good quarter by the Lions, Bernie.
We'll call the break there and come back for a few comments at the end of this. Well, it's players break away from the huddles and preparation for the beginning of the second quarter of the 1988 Grand Final. A couple of comments. 3 goals on a beautiful day like today, a beautiful service like this. The slight cost of the breeze is not uncontrollable. I think Arthurton fare well, despite Maitland having the ball game by the family jewels, Richard.
Yes, Arthurton could very easily go in at half-time up or very close to it, although, as you said, Maitland, I think, had 75% of the play in that quarter, maybe 65, I don't know, but they had the majority of the play, and the scoreboard really tells the story.
There goes the siren for the beginning of the second quarter of this 88 Grand Final. Inman and Hastings in the tap down towards Hillebrand. Hillebrand is ridden too high by the other Thomas, the one that head wobbles around like a proverbial dung in a dairy. Row a chance, drops what he should have had. In goes Hill over the top, and he's railroads Nicholas Honour, the hardest player Maitland have got, into the ground. Honour goes short to Hastings, a big fist away, a useful bit of footy. In goes Darling to on the ball, there's Paul Kirby. In goes Darling, he gets backed out of the pack, and that's holding the ball.
He's got to be holding the ball. Umpire says let's have it.
Whiz. Umpire John Leroy gives John Dunn the benefit of the doubt as he tried to back it out of the pack then. Ball in now on the Arthurton half forward right. Terrible bounce again. In goes Hill without the ball, Kirby without the ball, Agnew without the ball, and finally Leroy gives a free, holding on.
Maitland nearly making the same mistake there. They left the back door open, and had that play been allowed to go on, that could have been an Arthurton score. Nevertheless, the ball comes out to the outer side wing. Westbrook shows his determination and courage. Brett Graham with a bit of pace. Here's the call from Neville Rowe, good voice. If he gets the ball off the sit for him, he could be in here. Alan Goods does some good shepherding. Neville Rowe on the back foot, he's caught, and that is holding the nut. Oh, the umpire's given it too high.
It was very much too high too early then, Richard, I've got to say. That's play on. He goes into the goal face. It's a good kick. The pack flies, ball the ground. Hillebrand's grabbed too hard. It's play on's a call. And now we'll have a ball up. Right in the attacking zone of the Arthurton Tigers as we approach the end of the minute and a half of the first quarter. Hill grabs the ball. No, he doesn't. On the ground. Arthur goes back the wrong way and kicks it up. Country mile. I reckon that's somewhere down here at the Esquire Motel.
Yeah, it's not really showing his experience there, Robbie Arthur, but nevertheless, Alan Goods will have a kick from there, and if any man was going to kick it from that position, it would be Alan Goods. He wouldn't be 25, 30 yards out, and he's kicking with the wind, but if he can use it and let the wind bring it back, he should be able to go pretty close to this one.
Alan
on that
Goods.
right foot. Fine kick. He's pulled it in a bit too soon, though, I think. And the umpire signals just the one finger, and the Tigers register a point.
3-3 to 1-2 as we approach the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. And Alan Goods has come to Arthurton to be in a premiership team. And I think today he wants to have some say in that.
Yeah, he's been riddled with injuries this year, Alan Goods, and had a bit of bad luck, but he's battled his way back, and he's found himself playing in a grand final for the Tigers, and he'll be trying very hard, I imagine.
Arthur makes his mind up at long last and comes out to our commentary position. Up goes in-man without the ball. Hillebrand's pushing the back. No freeze paid. Now Graham's with the ball. Paul is shepherded well. Inman does it well. Oh, a top bump, and that hurt the boy. That was a top bump from Steve Thompson. And Steve Thompson lays off. That's double play. That's good footage. Darren Schilling's ridden into the ground, and he'll get a free kick.
Fine play by the Tigers. Stephen Thompson.
My goodness, I haven't seen a bump like that since the day that Lee Matthews took out Kenny Eustace in 1973. That was a magnificent bump.
Yeah, fine bump by Steve Thompson. He chanced his arm. He knew he had to go, but the ball went flat out, and down went Burke Thomason. He's in a bit of pain. Nevertheless, the ball went down.
Not Ken Eustace. Ken Eustace taken out by somebody else.
Darren Schilling on that left foot. The Arthurton full forward chips away, and I think he's just pulled it. Bad luck by Darren. He puts his head in his hand, and I hope it doesn't get his confidence down too much, because he's very much a confidence player. Getting that free kick after being ridden into the ground, but gee, the Maitland trainer still out with Burke Thomas applying the towel. Even I think he's got some pretty sore ribs.
I tell you what, that's an inspirational bump, that one. Robbie Arthur comes to the same location. The pack sits. Good mark to Whitelaw. That's a strong mark. That's meritorious.
Ricky Whitelaw unsure which way the Lions are kicking. Then he's got it worked out now, however. Swings it on the left foot. Not the best of kicks. Big Craig Graham comes over the top.
Plays on immediately.
Big fist forward and finds his way into the forward pocket for Arthurton. A good play by Craig Graham. He read Whitelaw's kick well, came over the top and put it along to the forward line. Thrown into the forward pocket. Peter Hill out the back. Taps it down. A scrimmage occurs, and the umpire's going to have it again.
Arthurton's come out with a real desire and are playing pressure footy, but the conversion rate at this stage is only just the 2 minor scores. 1-3 plays 3-3 as we go towards the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. Umpire Leroy down. Hastings dumps the ball to the line. John Darling won't get there, and he's happy to see it go over the line out of bounds. Left forward pocket for Arthurton. Ball's on the ground. Chance for Kirby and Langford. Kirby gets the courtesy of the free because he was in front. And I guess that's what footy's all about. It's pursuing the ball.
Yes, umpire's giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Kirby at this stage is having some discussion with himself as to whether to have a kick or not.
Yes, he's been a pretty prominent player for the Lions so far. Swings out to this outer wing. Brett Graham in front, but Timmy Paul judging the ball far better as Brett Graham gets a bit of a mouthful from the coach. As Paulie goes forward now and he's found the man who Stephen Thompson just ironed out. It seems to have recovered. David Eglinton, look at that for recovery and an excellent skills there to take the ball. He just turned around and he found it about 6 feet in front of his eyes and was good enough to take it. Out to this outer wing again. David Langford there with Mark Kirby. Kirby goes to punch. Oh, Thomas dropped the ball.
That's a magnificent tackle, David Langford.
Good tackle by David Langford, and the umpire had no hesitation in giving it, and it was the right decision. Cameron McCall just to stand the mark as McCall came over the mark, and that was poor umpiring, I thought, as the ball comes out to Timmy Paul. Dick Jones has got the run of the ball now. David Langford down, through comes Cameron McCauley. He goes to centre half forward. Gavin Adams the fly, can't pull it in, usually he would. Robbie Langford's in there battling hard. He's been a bit quiet, Robbie, but he's in there trying hard as usual. Gavin Adams, someone got a high tackle in there. Was oblivious to the umpire. And he's going to have a bounce down.
David Langford's a bit hobbly. He's got the job of Kirby. And David Langford's a bit stiff then. Robert Langford at least. And David Langford also. He was had 2 men over the mark and a bit of bit of inexperienced umpiring from experienced umpires. Inman down towards Robert Langford. He's in his wrong boot, but he'll swing around to his right boot now. Goes wide and exceptionally wide and gives an opportunity for a Maitland supporter to have a mark. Now we see Kirby with an opportunity to drive Maitland into attack.
It's the Moona boys giving Kirby a bit of hurry up there, and he has a bit of a laugh. I reckon that's all right. Kirby now from centre wing will drive that left foot. Going to that dead pocket again. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. Big Robbie Langford chips in front, and that's one of the reasons that Wayne's won 3 male medals. Fine overhead marking skills. He'll go more in ball this time, not looking for the boundary line. Craig Graham's there, and he's taking a fine mark. Tall Craig Graham gets the run on from Stephen Thompson. He's going to get wiped out here if he's not careful. Good enough to get it on. David Langford's going to get a quick kick in. Well done by Dorset. Goes to half forward. The ball's going to bounce just in front of him. He sits very nicely. He ducks. Gets dumped by Robbie Arthur. Good tackle. Darren Schilling gets the handball straight to John Darling. He chips it up. And Bert Thomas at centre wing. And there's no one on him. He swings it on the left foot here. Westbrook makes roads after Thomas, but he can't catch him. Fine.
Gee whiz,
smothered by the big fella Robert Lang, because he gathers, got all the time in the world. Tips it across. The kick's not that good. Craig Graham in the race of the ball there. Can't get it. The Maitland bloke's got it. Jay McCall in there trying. The Maitland bloke gets the handball out. He's going to be set upon by Craig Graham. Gets the kick in, and the ball is just in play still as Big Dave Inman grabs it. Swings on the left foot, and that's a poor kick. All it's done is found Big Dave Hastings, I think, the ball at the back of the pack, and he's judged it far better than Brett Graham. It's Timmy Paul.
I think that the comedy of errors then, because David Inman had a half an hour to kick the ball and he kicked straight to Hastings. That left the Arthurton Tigers on their heels in defence, and Brett Graham was completely outclassed then by the Maitland forward. He goes with a wobbly kick, but it's straight enough. And Maitland clear out now, 4-3 to 1-3. 18-point advantage as we head for the 8.5-minute mark of the second quarter of the 1988 grand final here at the Wallaroo Oval. And at this stage, Maitland's goals to the goal have come from Arthurton error rather than Maitland's skill.
Yes, I'd agree with that, and Maitland capitalising on every Arthurton error. And I think have to start thinking a bit more what they do with their disposal. One thing to get it, another thing to get rid of it properly. The ball's going to go down. It'll be Inman versus Hastings. Big Dave Inman. Hastings got the better of that one. Jay McCauley's there on the ball now. Beautifully smothered by a Maitland player. Oh, Jack White's grabbed the ball and he's been penalised on the ball. He held onto it long enough. He's just a little bit slow, Jack White, but has had his fair share of disposals today. Glenn Hillebrand gets the kick across to David Langford. He puts it across to Robert. Gee, that was a bit adventurous. He gets the big long handball out to David Eglinton, which wasn't quite spot on. He centres the ball now to centre half for the big one. Craig Graham's got his eyes written on this one, and he's got it. Fine mark.
Opportunity for Arthurton to steady here. Not that this game's still away from Craig Graham, whose marking ability is sometimes not matched. by his kicking prowess. Let's see what he can do with this one. And that's those easy shots that the Tigers need. 1-4 plays 4-3 as we go into the 10-minute mark of this the second quarter. Kirby versus Graham, and Graham takes a strong mark. Ball's on the ground, chance now for Thomas. Thomas gets knocked off the ball, he kicks. Peter Bagshaw charges through like a Bondi tram and gets boot the ball, smothered over the line, out of bounds on the outer side of the Wallaroo Oval, rather than into the golf course end.
Ball thrown in.
Hastings backhands the ball forward, straight to White over the top to Macaulay. Macaulay's got a paddock. He lays off now towards Kirby, who chips short to find Broken Shear, and where's the Arthurton defence gone? Broken Shear goes in towards goal, and Larry Colliver drops what he should have taken, giving Bilney the chance. Now Bryn gets set up on by Hillebrand. Now Bilney, good smother by Larry Colliver, making his mistake, and over the top goes Bilney, and that's a hell of a good snap. That's a top snap.
Yeah, it's a fine goal by Bilney, and gee, Larry Colliver did some hard work after he dropped a very easy mark. He could have made it easier for himself, but he butted up well and went in hard, but it still cost him a goal. And the Lions have gone 5-3, playing Arthurton 1-4, and I know it's only early days, Bernie, but other signs there.
I think at this stage, we've got to have this Arthurton second quarter lapse, and we've got to, at this stage, I don't think Maitland are playing that well. They are capitalising on mistakes. Up goes Inman. Hastings a big thump to nobody. Gives Macaulay a chance. Has Eglin. Eglin's good enough to hold it in, and now they've ball up right there in the right on the cricket pitch. And it's Hastings versus Inman. Lange with the tap straight to Thomas. Thomas lays off to Honor, who's drifted down from his half-back line. He goes in deep towards full forward, but Mark Coleman is equal to the task, and he's on Peter Bryn today. He'll go across goal, heading for the way of Craig Graham and Hastings over the top. They've starting to have a bit of influence in this game now, the big fellow.
Yes, breaking the rules there again. I wouldn't be centering the ball to David Hastings if he was in the area, thanks very much, but nevertheless, he's got the ball at centre half forward. Going for the big torpedo. It's a pretty wobbly kick. Ball comes forward. I think big Robbie Langford's got that mark. He's played that. Fine mark by the big fella.
If we just swing the ball quickly around to the flags, Trevor, I believe that Maitland's getting to the right end again.
Yes,
switch the flags. The wind swung around to the south. The free kick to.
It appears that way, Bernie, but they just maybe playing a bit better. Glenn Hillebrand not being let go. He's been called to play on now, and he goes to that clubroom side. Yeah, looking for Andrew Thompson, who's been quiet. Oh, beautiful play by Thomas. He runs through half forward, puts the ball in long. This is going to be close. Touched on the line, I think. Maitland players in there, one Arthurton player held without the ball.
Gee whiz.
Bad umpiring there. Someone's been called holding the ball. I'm not sure who it is. I think it's Glenn Hillebrand in there again, and Glenn doing all the hard work. Broken Shear has got hold of him. Still got hold of him. The umpire not going to be conned by anything. Not sure who's got it back there. Is it Peter Bagshaw? Kicks to that clubhouse side. The big fella Hastings out there again, nearly takes the mark. The Maitland bloke gets the ball on the left foot, kicks it back in. Big mark fly by Kirby, nearly a huge mark. Through comes Broken Shear with that snap on the right foot. Can't quite get there, and just scrapes him for the minor point. Minor score. Nearly a fine mark by Mark Kirby.
Nearly's don't do the game. 5-4 plays 1-4. At this stage, it's a Lion game as the ball's being brought out, and Broken Shear has been given Brett Graham a bit of attention. So the umpire gives Brett Graham a kick about 20 metres further up ground. He plays on immediately as Broken Shear tries to do some sort of hurdle arrangement. Over to Hillebrand. Hillebrand's featuring well. He goes a beautiful pass towards Macaulay, who drops what he should have taken. That's Macaulay of the J variety. He goes now with Thomas and towards the centre towards Vic Hastings. Hastings wrong foots and kicks right in towards Inman, who takes a good telling saving mark. He plays on and puts himself in a lot of trouble and has lost the initiative.
Yes, looking to get that ball on quickly then, Bernie, and the Maitland blokes right on it. And smothering that well, and gee, Maitland applying plenty of pressure.
I still believe that if there's any advantage in this wind, it's now, if you look at the Maitland flag, it's into that pocket where it's now Goods on the ball, kicks towards Eglin. Eglin gets far too high, but play on's cool. Now it's a high tackle on Ian Westbrook. McCauley's got the ball, and he's obviously holding the ball, but play on's a call. Maitland getting all the easy run now. Bittner on the left boot, centres the ball towards Thomas. Over the top goes Hillebrand with a bit of intelligent football. Other Thomas gets the ball now, goes in with a wobbly kick towards the full forward line. Brind and Coleman. Coleman is called play on. Over towards Goods. Goods now hits to nobody. James the chance. Pressures the game here. James goes towards the pocket, and big Rob Langford dropping back very quickly takes a telling mark in defence, and gee whiz, the pressures are packed there now, Richard.
Yes, the Tigers' defence really getting a solid work out here as big Rolly brings it out to the half-back flank. Craig Graham flies. David Hastings there as well, starting to stamp his trademark all over this ground. A good handball out by Thomas to the other Thomas brother. Good spell by Craig Graham, who was held when he didn't have the ball. Oh, Arthurton could botch this up, and they had the run of it. Maitland Bloke dropped the ball. The umpire was blind to it. Gets a quick kick back in, and Cameron McCauley's there, and he's going to be paid the mark. He's going to be paid the mark. Gee, Arthurton had the run of the ball. Craig Graham perhaps could have been given the free. I don't know if that's a biased opinion or not, but he certainly seemed to be held. But the umpires seem to be caught in the wrong position a fair bit, Bernie.
Yeah, it's a pretty ordinary umpiring exhibition. A guy like John Leroy has done a few grand finals. Gee whiz, he's been caught out of position. He's calling them wrong, and really think they're going to have to lift their game to McCauley goes short towards Kirby.
That's a beautiful pass.
It is a beautiful pass. David Langford was with him the whole way, but there was when they delivered that well, you've got to give it credit.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that when they lace out like that, and gee, I'd back Kirby from there. Yeah, well, I've put the mockers on him, that's all right, I don't mind about that. She's gone just to the other side of the left-hand goal post, and only the minor score, and gee, Mark Kirby, you'd usually put a fair bit of money on a shot from that distance. Mark Coleman playing his last game for the Arthurton Tigers. Ball kick out from the full-back position. He's got a lead from Gavin Adams. Big Hastings goes with him. David Inman, look at that from Mark. He's about twice as tall as little Dickie James, but he's got the ball nevertheless. Gavin Adams goes for the pass, and he's found Rowie. Oh, he drops what he should have taken. Gets the tap on nevertheless. John Darling's there. Goodsey goes in for the big bump. Gets the tap out the back cleverly. Gavin Bittner gets the ball. Goes along to the full forward area. Oh, nearly a mark. I think he nearly could have paid it. Lawrence Colliver just did enough to put him off. Snap by the Maitland bloke, and I think he's put that through. He has.
That's a skipper. It's a skipper, Jack White.
Oh, inspirational goal by the Maitland skipper, and boy, the Tigers really looking down the barrel, Bernie.
Once again, though, Richard, I've got to say it. A simple Arthurton mistake costs a goal. It was a lace-out pass to Neville Rowe, and he dropped what he should have taken, and Maitland were there to pick up the pieces. And
yes, I'd have to agree, Bernie, that they really are getting their opportunities from every Arthurton mistake, and they're just making them pay for it. 31
points behind as we approach the 18-minute mark of the second quarter.
Certainly not an unassailable lead by any stretch of the imagination. The Tigers, we know if they can put in a good quarter, can come from anywhere, as they've shown in the last couple of weeks. But it's going to be very hard today as the ball's bounced. Another shocking bounce on straight to a Maitland bloke. It should have been a rebounce, and that's poor umpiring again. Brett Grant chances his arm. Through comes now, gets the handball out, doesn't go to anyone in particular. Maitland grabbed the ball, handball across to Cameron McCauley. Oh, man loose on his own. It's Adrian Baggage. He's been tackled good enough to get out of it. Mark Coleman versus Peter Brind. Brindy gets a boot of the ball off his top of his knee, and I don't think you can count that as a goal.
No, it's top of the goal umpire, and then Gary Bilney, if only you had been David Hastings, he would have got that. But,
yes, that's a pretty fair comment. Mark Coleman comes out. David England just gets the ball and gets a bit of attention after he takes it. That's okay, he gets up. He's going to bring it out to this side. It's been a long time since the ball's come over Arthurton's half-forward line. Brings it out wide. Oh, big Dave Inman comes in from the side. I think Dave Hastings saw him coming and pulled the pin on that one, Bernie.
Yeah, gee, was that our disposal quite woeful. As Westbrook blaze off to Kirby, who kicks a point, and that was a trip. As I think that that boy is on the ground there's not very well.
Yes, I think Ian Westbrook may have given him a bit of attention after the ball had gone. I didn't see it, but the Maitland blokes are remonstrating with Ian, and they're not real pleased about something. I'm not sure even who it is. Number 3, Bernie.
Timmy Paul.
Timmy Paul, he's a vital player for the Lions, and they'd certainly miss him if he went off. Mark Coleman goes this side again. Ian Westbrook's out there. Tackle comes out, well applied by David Langford. Nearly gets a smack in the mouth for his troubles. Lawrence Colliver shows fine judgment. He's almost led this Arthurton defence. Round it comes. Big Ian Westbrook's there again. He can't take it. Alan Goods appears to be on the ball at this stage. Andrew Thompson gets clean bowled. On the cricket pitch there now, won't bounce there. Craig Graham's there. Burke Thomas gets the ball. Quick handball out to Brindley. He gets a clever tap on. Gavin Bittner's there. Neville Rowe couldn't quite get him. And I'm not sure whose man that is, but it's been left alone.
He's on this wing, and I think he's either Craig Graham's or he is David Eglinton's. Certainly, Andrew Thompson and Neville Rowe aren't one grabbing the ball, and that's unusual for Andrew. As White goes long and kicks a goal.
That's a fine goal by the Maitland captain, and Maitland really doing all the attacking. Arthurton started this quarter off well. They had it down their 4 lines for the first couple of minutes, but since then it's been all Maitland. Fine kick then by Jack White. He was left alone, and the Maitland bloke lifted his eyes, saw him, and hit him with a
That was Bittner, and
pinpoint
Bittner's playing very well on this wing. I think he is on David Eglinton. David Eglinton's playing wide, and he is getting touches, but at this stage, you'd have to say that was it's a Maitland quarter by a stretch. Arthurton's fumbling, their delivery's poor, and they're getting beaten to the ball. So now we've got to see a big lift. The Arthurton Tigers 7-6 to 1-4, and we're approaching time on here.
Yeah, 6 goals the difference.
It's a terrible bounce, though.
Good in the centre of the air. The umpire not bouncing the ball well. They get it out well. David Eglinton goes in for the ball hunt. He can't get it. Nick Honor in there trying hard. Neville Rowe in there also. And a good bit of endeavour showed there by both sides. But the move of Alan Goods onto the ball perhaps may give the Arthurton side a bit more spark out of the centre, Bernie.
Yeah, one would hope so. Goodsy's coming back from injury. Bryn gets the tap. It's the first time the ball's been bounced straight by the umpire in in the last 5. In goes Goodsy and also Bittner. Oh dear! Oh,
bit of a dance here between Gavin Bittner and
the boundary umpire.
Ball thrown in high. Big Peter Bryn's there, but David Inman gets the tap. There's no one there except for David Eglinton. Only man there for Arthurton. He's trying hard. Ooh, a bit of a touch in the back, but there's probably nothing in it, and the ball gets rushed out of bounds.
And Nicholas Honor uses an expletive of the English language then.
Ball thrown in. Alan Goods gets a smack in the mouth. Brindy tries to get the ball, gets tagged. Didn't have the ball, grabbed him by the arm, and the big Maitland follower will have the kick from centre wing. Big kick to centre half forward. Big Robbie Langford goes the punch. I think he's probably had the better of Cameron McCauley.
Oh, he's giving him
David Inman gets slung off the ball. Kicked high to Craig Graham. He's looking straight at the sun. Couldn't quite get it. Brett Graham gets the quick handball out to brother Craig. He's forced to swing quickly onto that right foot. Jay McCauley's there. Can he show his skills? He's on a pretty tough man. Comes to the Arthurton half forward line. The first time for quite a while. Andrew Thompson gets pushed off the ball. The Lions are strong in defence. Poor kick out of the fence. Alan Goods is there. He's got time to butter up after he's dropped it. Swings him with that left foot. Who we got one-on-one down there? It's Neville Rowe, I think. Ball comes down the ground. Centre half forward. Darren showing with a high kick in the air. I think it's going to be offline though at 1 point. And anything the Tigers try with their snapshots just aren't coming off, Bernie.
Oh, well, they one goal 5 now, and that's a bit better thrust into the forward lines though. And Alan Goods has given a bit of bite on the ball. And now Arthur will go long to the other side of the oval, looking for Bittner. Bittner's into the back of Hillebrand, but Craig Graham now the chance. He's also lifted his game in the last 5 minutes. On his left boot, a good kick, a controlled kick, and the ball, Goods has hung on to, and we'll take the free then. And
he could kick it from there, Bernie, quite easily. From that distance, he could dob that. I think it would be only the accuracy would be a problem.
Goodsy's already got 1 goal, the only goal that Arthurton's got. It's 7-6-1-5, and Arthurton desperate for an Alan Goods conversion here of the highest order.
Look at that for a third of a kick. Big torpedo.
1 point only. 1 point only, and we've now got 7-6 plays, 1-6, 36 points of difference, and it's 6 straight goals the difference.
Yes, that's pretty tall order. Breaking transmission there, but we're back on the show now, and we pick up play over on Maitland's half forward line on the clubroom side.
7-6 plays 1-6, and we've into time on now in this second quarter. Down towards Brett Graham. He's played an ordinary game. Over to Rob Langford. He goes wide towards Craig Graham. Craig Graham's got to practically sights and pull up then. He lays off to Jay McCauley, who'll get crunched. No, he won't. In goes Darling. McCauley gets the ball on to nobody. In goes now Bilney. Bilney's got a chance. Well shepherded Agnew. Bilney in his left boot hangs it back towards Craig Graham, who's starting to have some influence on the outer wing now.
Yes,
Craig Graham looks inboard towards Ian Westbrook, who takes the mark at the true centre half forward position. Alan Good starting to make a bit of space, and Arthurton looking a little bit more purposeful, Richard.
Yes, Ian Westbrook goes long to that forward pocket. The ball comes to Robbie Arthur, though, showing his experience. Out he comes, nearly gets caught with the ball. Comes to John Darling, quick handle across the building. He didn't know what to do. Glenn Hildebrand goes with another good hip and shoulder. He's good with the body work, Glenn, and the ball gets tossed out of bounds at half forward. And I think he's going to get a free kick, and right in front of the Maitland crowd. And they'll just love that. Glenn Hildebrand goes long to the true centre half forward position. Neville Rose there, nearly takes it, and he's been paid the mark. He's played on now, steadied, and goals.
Whoa.
Boy,
and
that's a bit better than that free kick to Glenn Hildebrand right in front of the Maitland cheer squad. Didn't please them at all, and kicked it long to Neville Rowe. He nearly took it, was paid the mark, played on, and gee, didn't Arthurton need that one. 5 goals in it now, so if I get another quick one or two before half-time, all's not lost, Bernie.
No, we've got a game of footy. We've got another hour of footy to play yet, Richard, and so when there's no point in talking negative stuff just yet. Dave England's coming off. Looks like he's having a rest. And,
yeah, Stephen Olive, it looks like he's going to have a run.
And I haven't been talking to the Brains Trust during the week, but I guess Horace must have been carrying an injury during the week. Is that the story, Richard?
I'm not so sure about that, Bernie. He's had a bit of a crook knee, but I'm not sure there was enough to keep him on the bench. Anyway, the tap down comes. Alan Goods with a quick handball out to Ian Westbrook is good play. Hilly gets the foot to the ball. Comes to Big Agnew. He goes to Maitland's half forward line. Players fall over. Now Ian Westbrook gets the ball. He's looking for the shepherd. Lawrence Colliver almost provides that. Gavin Adams can't quite get there. And the ball beats him, Gavin Adams, Gavin Bittner, and Stephen Olive over the line. Approaching the 28-minute mark, we're told by Spinner Davey. He's pulled up for a spell. Tapped down by Horace Olive. By Eamon to Horace Olive. Kicks it forward to half forward. Neville Rowe's been held on to and harassed there by Nick on. I'm not quite sure that's on. Darren Schilling's doing the hard work. Neville Rowe in there again as he runs forward. Good play by John Darling. Good strong start, and Dorset.
You've got to, if he's going to play that body stuff, he's got to play body stuff and make the lad really earn those marks. He goes long now, and it's going to be a Rob Langford attempt on the ball out of bounds, very close to out of bounds in the full end, but umpire right in the spot. In goes Bittner inboard now. A bit of silence here. We get to Larry Colliver. Takes a good mark. Takes a beautiful mark.
Fine mark by Lawrence. He took that line on the ground. And that's a fine mark. He hasn't done much wrong today, Lawrence Colliver. Except for that, that's not a good kick. And it's gone straight to Mark Kirby. Didn't give it much thought. And often that happens after a good mark. The concentration drops off. Short kick in and is found.
Now Macaulay's by himself. And that's where Hastings is going to go. Ian Westbrook gets back to cover. In goes Mark Coleman. He goes up. Westbrook reads it well off the ground. Lays off to Rob Langford. Rob Langford over to Ian Westbrook. Ian Westbrook to David Langford. David Langford way up in the air, giving Darren Schilling a chance, and John Darling. John Darling destroys the ball. Chance for Kirby. Kirby's good enough. He gets lays it off towards Nick Honor. Nick Honor can't grab the ball. Now he taps out towards Kirby. In goes Stephen Olive, and he gets grabbed far too high by Kirby. I'm going to have a free kick right in front of our commentary position. And Mark Kirby's not at all impressive. Brilliant footballer. And he's had a very good day today, but Stephen Olive had his match that time. He over the mark. That's not a play, so that's another 15-metre penalty. Umpire hopeless that time.
He never got over the mark.
It's out of bounds there as Paul runs out of bounds of the ball.
No, I disagree with that last comment, Bernie. I thought Stephen Olive ran far too close to Mark Kirby there and kicked it straight to his arms. Poor play.
He certainly was over the mark, so I don't know that for mine anyway.
Fair enough. Play goes on. Half-back flank for Arthurton. Ball comes out to Stephen Olive this time, and that's a little bit better kick, but not a lot. Young Dick James got a strong pair of hands, and he's taken that.
David Langford's in a lot of trouble down on the half-back left for Arthurton, if this camera can swing around. David Langford in a lot of trouble as the siren sounds for half-time, and a bit of sniping there, I believe. That's a bit of a payback for the Tim Pool episode, I would think.
May well have been, as the ball went straight down to that area. It's just as well the siren went, because Dorset was in no condition to pick it up. In actual fact, the ball smacked one of the Arthurton trainers straight in the scone.
7-6 plays 2-6.